Hi, it's Ike from Groovy Entertainment. Today we have another book to read for you. Today, book is Barbie and the Rockers, The Fan, for 1987. Let's get started. New York, cried Barbie. Chicago, whoopee-dee-dee. And don't forget Hollywood. Diva chimed in. This is going to be our best concert tour ever. 10 cities in 20 days, and every show is already sold out. Yeah, said Derek. Our public city campaign really paid off, especially the weekend with the Rockers concert. We must have gotten a million entries. I wonder what the winner like. Ken Must. Della Devo. What a great name. Diva, Dinah, Dee and Della. Sound like she belonged with the band. Well, said Barbie, we'll find out all about her when we get to Los Angeles. It won't be long now. Meanwhile, in Los Angeles, Della Devo had made her mind on music, but not on the Rockers. She was too busy preparing for a performance of her own. In just 3 weeks, she would be trying out for a place at the Los Angeles High School of Music and Art. The competition amongst violinists was expected to be fierce. I just wish you hadn't won that silly contest, Stella's mother said. I hate to think of you missing a whole weekend of Patrick. So, so close your audience. Oh, mother, Della said, groaning. I have been practicing the violin 3 hours a day for the last 5 years. If I'm not really now, I would never be. As a matter of fact, I'm sick of practicing. I could use a break. A few days later, the Rockets set off on their tour. First stop, New York City. As their bus approached the Big Apple, Barbie and her band went over to the lyrics of a new song they'll be singing that night. We're rocking across America, Barbie belted out. Rolling across America, Dana harmonized. Traveling all over this great land of ours, Ken crooned. A huge crowd had gathered outside the Rocker Hotel to welcome the band to New York. While the roadies unloaded the sound equipment, Barbie and her friends signed autographs. Will you be at the concert tonight? Barbie asked the girl. I wouldn't miss it for the war, she said. I have all your records. They are really great, and I bet you'll be even greater in person. At the concert that night, Barbie and the Rockers didn't disappoint the girl, or any of the thousands of other teams who packed the arena. The Rockers gave their best performance ever, and the enthusiastic audience on stage. Kept them on stage until well after midnight, demanding one encore after another. It seemed that Barbie had barely closed her eyes when it was time to get up and back on the road again. Next stop, Philadelphia. Heading west, the Rockers performed in one city after another. Cleveland, Detroit, Chicago. This and each concert was better than the one before. When the group finally pulled into Los Angeles at the end of the tour, they were greeted by the usual crowd of fans, plus one very special fan, Della Devo. The rocker risked Della away with them to a press conference where Barbie introduced her to the newspaper and TV reporters and described the contest. Della prize winner essay, What Music Means to Me, had earned her 2 fun-filled days as the rocker special guest. She accompanied them everywhere and wind up the weekend with a front row seat at the band's final concert on Sunday night. Early the next morning, the rocker took Della along for their concert fitting. The young violinist was dazed by the girdling clothes and couldn't help comparing them with her own skirt and sweater. She felt painfully plain, especially when Derek's eyes lit up at the sight of Diva Modern, one of the outfits. Then Barbie and the Rockers went off to the local television station, where they would be appearing on the afternoon talk show. While watching the program on the monitor in the control room, Della sat open mouthed as Barbie told the host about the time the group sung for the president and the first lady. The other had exciting tales too, but Della most enjoyed listening and watching Derek. He certainly looked handsome on TV. The next day was packed with activities at Della, a, comp- a conference, the Rockers, to a dressing rehearsal, a charity auctioneer, and a Galilee public city party. The weekend seemed to be flying by. If only it would never end. Della thought Sunday her life at home seemed very dull. Sitting in her front row seat at the concert that night, Della wishes she was even closer. In fact, she didn't want to be in the In fact, she didn't want to be in the audience at all. She wanted to be on stage with the Rockers and already felt like a part of the group. Barbie and the other girls seemed like big sisters. Ken was like an older brother, and as for Derek, well, he was something special. It didn't take much imagination for Della to picture herself as a member of the Rockers. After all, she was a musician with so many years of violin studying study behind her. The guitar wouldn't be too hard to learn. She could get a tutor for the high school courses, and she wouldn't even have to change her name. It was perfect. Diva, Dana, Dee and Della. Della could hardly wait for the concert to end. She was eager to share her thoughts with the Rockers. As soon as the final curtain came down, she rushed backstage. The band members listened in silence as Della excitedly announced her plan to quit the violin and take up the guitar. When she finally paused for breath, Derek said gently, "We have loved having you around this weekend, but I'm afraid you have gotten a false picture of our life." "That's right," Barbie agreed. "So far, all you have seen is the glamorous side of this business. The costume fitting, press conference, and parties are all great fun, but there is more to it than that, a lot more. If you want to see how it's ready is, why don't you come to the RNR studio tomorrow after school and sit in while we cut our new album." When Della showed up at the recording studio the next afternoon, Barbie and the band was in the middle of a song. Suddenly, the chief engineer held up his hand and signaled the musician to stop. "Would you try that again from the top?" he asked. "I'm getting too much guitar and not enough for piano." The Rockets they cheerfully start the song again. 2 hours and 15 tries later, they were still happy at it, or happy at it. But Della was exhausted just from listening. This is worse than the violin Patrick, she thought. I had no idea playing rock and roll could be such hard work. By the end of the recording session, Della had a splitting headache and a whole new understanding of the Rockets. Rocket Wars still, she didn't give up her idea. After all, she joined the band. At last, she could be near Derek. As a session there, at a session was breaking up, Della heard Derek say, "Got to run. I have a late date." Suddenly, she felt foolish for having imagined herself as his girlfriend. After all, her mother wouldn't even let her go out on a date yet. Before Derek had a chance to run off, Della stopped him and said, "Derek, Barbie, everyone, you was right. I had no idea what being a rock star was all about. For now, I'll stick to what I already know. Divine and near, I'm sure going to miss you all, but I'll still be your number one fan." Barbie said, "Who knows? Maybe someday you'll play the guitar too. Just don't walk away from something you are so good at." There was already, wait, there will always be a front row seat for you anytime. The Rockers are in town, Barbie continued, and we expect you to return the favor when you are a famous violinist, Derek added with a wink, because we're all pretty big fans of yours too. So that was Barbie and the Rockers, the fan from 1987. So if you like, subscribe, share, and comment, and have a groovy day with another video coming out real soon.